In our report, Partnering for Performance, we look at the impact on the business when the CFO and Chief Supply Chain Officers really collaborate. Companies are dealing with rising costs, fluctuating demand, pressures of globalization, volatility in currency and commodity prices. And so the supply chain, which holds the largest proportion of a business's cost, has become increasingly important to find cost efficiencies.
The CFO has access to numbers from across the business, and they're also distant from the day-to-day operations, which means they're neutral when analysing data. This means that they can bring a consistency to the way that the business takes decisions. And it also means that they can bring some more sophisticated analytical techniques to help business make decisions about how it runs supply chain on a day-to-day basis.
Our research shows that when the CFO and Chief Supply Chain Officer really enter into an effective collaboration, they report higher growth. In fact, nearly 50% reported EBITDA increasing by more than 5% over the last year.
Chief financial officers and supply chain leaders tell us that the #1 area for chief financial officers to help improve supply chain performance is through better capital investment decisions and improved working capital performance. EY's annual survey of working capital performance showed that the top businesses in the US and Europe have up to $1.3 trillion of capital unnecessarily tied up in their balance sheets. Now, if a CFO can help reduce the capital that's tied up and release cash, that cash can be used to reinvest in the business, for example, in plant, equipment, training, acquisitions, increased dividends, and all of those go to help improve shareholder return.
An integrated operating model is a necessity in today's highly competitive global business world. When high-performing companies design their operating models, they make sure they address all the factors that impact performance. And that includes direct, indirect taxes and the legal structure as well. What you're observing in a number of companies, that both CFO and Chief Supply Chain Officers are actually side by side on boards, together driving decisions and actually, as a result, making much better decisions.
EY, exclusive sponsor of the CNBC Global CFO Council.